Wow. This week has been amazing.
Alex, you did great today, brother.
What it meant to me,
Good job.
I don't feel like what it meant to me. I feel like all his fears have been put to rest. Because his biggest fear was that when he died, the world would forget him. And this week, this whole year has shown that not only will the world not forget him, they could never forget him because he is so loved. And so it does my heart good to know all his fears are put to rest, knowing that he will never be forgotten and he will always be amongst us. But yes, it's really hard and it's scary and it's like a keep burying almost. And I mean I'm very happy with all the tributes and everything else. But sometimes it's a little sad, I'm gonna be honest. And it feels like I just keep burying them and burying them. But as long as what made him the happiest, which was his family. As long as everybody's happy, as long as everybody's heart is healing, I'm good with this. I'm good with this because I know he's great with this. And I thank everyone, I mean from the bottom of my soul, for all these wonderful, wonderful tributes, all these wonderful events, all these wonderful things that they do. Because he would have loved to see it. And actually he has seen it, right, motherfucker? He is watching, and I know he's happy. I know he's very happy. So thank you all.
Hey, Yoshi. My name's Trigger.
How's it going? Ira Black here. I'm here at the Art on Scene for the artist Travis Moore, who designed and made and completed the Lemmy Kilmister statue that's dawned over at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. Now they had the unveiling last night, and we're here tonight to celebrate with a bunch of friends of Motorhead and Lemmy and just the scene here. We also performed the Ultimate Jam Night at the Whiskey 2 nights ago on August 23rd, and it was great. We had about 50 artists come out and play, from Rex Brown to Tracy Guns to, it's so many people. Carla Harvey from Butcher Babies, the list goes on. Literally 50 people. Chuck Wright from Quiet Riot, the whole Ultimate Jam Night game. And, this has been an incredible week. It's been 3 nights of Motorhead celebrating Lemmy, and it's been surreal and beautiful and ironic, and all the people are coming back together that, from years of, it's incredible from all different ways, places. It's been really incredible to try and pull it all in all at once. I keep having this retrospective feeling when I get home, like, oh wow, this happened, that happened, this is going on. It's like one thing after another. But the other night, Ultimate Jam Night, it was so moving to see all these artists come together and celebrate Lemmy's life, Motorhead, and I was in touch with Phil and Mickey both, and we wish they could have been there, of course, too, and they wanted to be there, and they gave their consent, support of it, and that was awesome. And we've had Todd Sigerman come out, and Cheryl, and Lemmy's son Paul, and Wendy Dio. I mean, iconic people that just have moved this industry over the years. And of course, Lemmy, is the king of it all. I call him the king of rock and roll, king of metal, however you want to look at it. For me personally, I got to spend some time with Motorhead near the end, and I went on the motorboat cruise with them, and Phil asked me to play with him and his all-star band, and we also spent a handful of days on the last days of their last American tour. So I got to be right there at the end, and it was just once in a lifetime opportunity to hang out with such awesome people that were from the heart, and that's why you see all these people out here supporting it, because that's how they were. And Lemmy said fuck you. It wasn't fuck you to you, it was fuck you to all the bullshit. Fuck you for rock and roll. If you're not down, then fuck you. So there you have it. I'm forever blessed to have been that much a part of it. Thank you.
So how has Lemmy and Motorhead influenced you musically, and what does the art show tonight mean to you?
Okay, so first of all, Lemmy is a legend before Motorhead because he was Jimi Hendrix's roadie, and I'm a Jimi Hendrix fanatic. So the fact that Lemmy was Jimmy's roadie is enough for me. Okay, now I heard Motorhead many years ago, and as soon as I heard that distorted bass that Rickenbacker into the Marshall stack, I was like, this is amazing. And you know, obviously everyone knows Ace of Spades, and there's tons more songs. I've got Ace of Spades and vinyl. But anyway, just like the influence is just like, it's like he's like a Viking of rock and roll. It's like you can't like deny Lemmy. It's like he was there in the '60s and he's continued until now. It's like it's a living like where he was. It's a legend. It's not that he's alive anymore, but Lemmy is like the godfather of hard rock basically, and metal influence Metallica, so many bands, and like, you know, Lemmy's a sweetheart, you know, so yeah. It's great for them to like honor like an individual like that in the community. It's like meant so much, has done so much for people's lives musically, and like, you know, wave the flag of rock and roll. In an environment where music has had to like survive in the weird climates of other styles of music that overthrow it. Like for example, like you see Lemmy, you see Motorhead at Coachella, like when was it, 2013 or 14? It brings out Slash. I mean, I don't know, like in a climate where there's like a lot of synth pop bands and like a lot of stuff that's more homogenized, not to say quite organic, you know, Lemmy still waving that flag strong until he died. So I think it's great that everyone gets together with the art and like brings everybody together and wants to honor Lemmy. I think it's great. I mean, that's what everybody like. It's a great thing to have like someone that everybody looks up to, and no one who can touch Lemmy. Like, holy shit, I mean, come on. Like, just the fact that it's Jimi Hendrix's roadie is enough for me, like I said. Anyway, sorry I didn't look at the camera once. Hello.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
There's been like 3 or 4 events this week, just on the Sunset Strip alone, which is a perfect testament to Lemmy's and Motorhead's influence and wide appeal. He really was an important person in changing music as it sort of shifted. He was part of that. He was a pivotal person in that shift of both like expanding the sound, bringing that same sort of like dynamite or dynamism, let's call it, from the energy of punk and hardcore and early grunge, and then just completely expanded it. And it's when you see a show like this and you see thousands of people show up, it just shows how many people he really meant a lot to them. And his music, his songs, his whole vibe, incredibly influential to so many musicians and so many fans. How's that?
This is Bjorn Englund from Dio Disciples. I'm happy to be here today. Had a great night last night celebrating the statue of Lemmy. Lemmy was part of the first concert I saw with Motorhead in 1984, and I was 13 years old. It was very special. He influenced so many people, and I was actually writing a review of that concert on top of it all. And great memory. Followed Motorhead for decades, and you know, everybody knows he was a humble guy, and meant a lot to not just the music community in the world, but also to the LA community and to Hollywood and everything. So it was a very beautiful evening last night, and tonight it continues, and I'm happy to be here and honored to be part of this. Well, have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyway, I'm Steve Dawson, guitar player. Just moved to LA 3 months ago, so from New York originally, and we are here. We've been doing Lemmy tributes all week. It's been a Lemmy week, and the first one was at the Whiskey on Tuesday, and we did Ultimate Jam Night with Chuck Wright and Matt Starr and Walter, and all those great guys, and we did a night of Motorhead songs and Motorhead-inspired songs and songs that he's written with other people, and it was incredible. It was great musicians, super loud, really fast, and oh man, it was a moving tribute. And then last night was Wednesday, and that was the Rainbow Bar and Grill revealed the statue. It was a monument to Lemmy, so we all attended that with Lisa Morton Woodard and Chuck Walker, and they did a great job. There was tons of press there, and it was an incredibly cool statue of Lemmy. And they were huge inspirations to me, definitely. I was a big fan of his, and Lemmy to me stood for freedom. He stood for creativity and individualism, and there was nobody like him. And man, to live that guy's life was, he's a testament to a real rock and roll, definitely. So it was, it's been a busy week, and I'm back on coke, and regular coke. Don't get the wrong idea. Anyway. I think that's about it.
That's awesome.
Gonna have a drink and go home.
Thank you.
I'm Travis Moore. I'm a local LA artist, and normally I work in large-scale sharpening work, what I call sharpism. But currently I'm involved in probably the best project I've ever had a chance to be a part of. I'm in the middle of creating the Lemmy statue for the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and honestly, it's been a process. Logistically, it's been a process, but just to create a full-size bronze, there's a lot of stages that you have to go through. Initially, we had to select an image, and that was, kind of up to the people that were casting and commissioning. I went through several images myself and arrived at a design, and then ultimately we arrived at a picture that we want to use, and then I augmented what I was doing for that. So from sketches, we went to wire, and I created a wire model that's about 18 inches, and from that I added clay, foil first for body and then clay, just because you don't want to use so much clay because you don't want it to be heavy and be a problem, during the sculpt. And I'd never worked with this medium before, so I wanted to try to give myself the best possibility of success. So after building the maquette, it goes to 18-inch maquette. You can do a 12-inch, you can do whatever variant sizes, and then they'll translate that to a full-size, life-size bronze. So we selected a medium-sized maquette, so there'll be some detail, many placeholders, so that the final sculpt, it'll be a lot easier for me to determine where those places are that are going to be a detail spot or a problem area. And then tons and tons of photographs. After me completing my part, the mini Lemmy, the small maquette, 18-inch, was then taken and frozen and then shipped overnight to Utah, to Provo, Utah, where big statues now and Glenn are beginning to do the final sculpt. He's had the piece for about 3 weeks now, and he's getting awfully close to going to wax. That'll be the next stage. After building a full-size armature, 6 foot tall, and covering that in wax, foam core, whatnot, they're going to carve it out and make it look exactly like the image, the details, and the maquette, kind of a combination. Then once that's done and all the details are finished, they'll take that piece, they'll create a wax mold for it. So they'll take the clay, full-size clay, they'll then cover it in a styro, polymer, kind of plastic, kind of thing. And then they'll cut that away, and they'll use that, the wax that's inside there, on the second cast, and put a bunch of plaster around it, they build it up to a point where there's channels, and then what they're actually going for is the lost wax process. So you create the wax, you make it perfectly detailed, and in this case we'll probably create maybe 2 or possibly 3, just because you don't want to have a mistake in the process. So then you have to go back and make another wax mold. So you want to have a couple available to you in case there's some kind of error in the casting and in the foundry's process before assemblage. So we'll go ahead and make 3. So then we'll go through all the detail and double check everything, make sure all the hair is right, make sure everything is perfect, as perfect as we can possibly make it. In fact, in the last week or so, I'm starting getting all the minor detail stuff, the little small things like the stitching and the seams on his boots. For instance, we took over 100 photographs of a pair of Lemmy's boots with the actual boot maker, and he made his patterns available to us. So we have the actual patterns for the boots. So, I mean, that's the kind of detail that we're trying to go for here. So that's the reason why it's so important to make sure that the wax is right before you go to a final cast. So once the wax is completed, they'll go ahead and make a mold around that, and then they'll pour it a molten bronze. In this case, we're going to do a full-size bronze statue, and they'll pour through those channels, fill that area, force the wax out, and then the metal will take the wax's place, create the form, and then after it hardens, they'll crack that apart, and they'll. And honestly, it might even be in pieces where part of Lemmy is over here, part of Lemmy is over there, and then they take the whole thing and put it back together. I don't know exactly how intensive the separation is going to be, but because the piece is essentially an upright piece, and the stance is similar to a fig leaf stance, similar to this, it makes it a lot easier to section that to go in a casting. So once that's done and we've gone for wax, between the actual foundry process and the pour to the assemblage, we're talking roughly 6 to 8 weeks. So tentatively right now, we're talking 8 weeks out there, and if so, then we're talking the end of May, maybe the first week in June, that this will be completed and installed. So somewhere around those last 2 weeks, the process will be at a completion point and the finishing will begin. There'll be a high polish in some areas, different patinas to simulate the gradation in a monochromatic representation of Lemmy Kilmister. So once that's all done and they bring it out, then we'll bolt that joker to the floor. It's going to go in a specially designed shrine at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, close to the area where Lemmy used to hang out. It's his home away from home. So people will want to come there, take pictures, whatnot. So we're going to build it in such a way, along with that opening there. We're doing architectural drawings and renderings right now. I haven't got to see them yet. I'm anxious to see them. But they've already done measurements, and that build's going to start here pretty quick, so it can be finished in time for Lemmy's arrival. Once he's put in there, they're also going to put some memorabilia, some photographs, and a large bronze plaque that's going to have a great quote by Lem and some thanks for his family and friends and whatnot. And then everybody else that made this whole thing possible, me included, everybody that gave $1 to Caden's, to his fund to try to raise the money to do the statue. We're going to mention every one of those people, so people will have something else to see besides the statue, maybe come and see your name. So that's the whole process.
Awesome.
Hi there, my name is Travis Moore. I'm a local LA artist. I was actually selected to head the team that created the Lemmy Kilmister statue, large bronze that we're putting in at the Rainbow Bar and Grill on Wednesday, tomorrow night. Tonight, the first night of the 3-day festival of Lemmy on the Sunset Strip, we start out here at the Whiskey A Go Go, where the Ultimate Jam Night tonight is doing an all Lemmy, all Motorhead night, and Cheryl, his widow, is actually in attendance. She's speaking right now as we're talking. And tonight's going to be the first night of the kickoff celebration of this great guy that we're planning on honoring with the unveil, and then I'm going to honor with a show the day after that. So after tonight, we're going to move on to the Rainbow tomorrow. This festivities start there at 7 o'clock, and we're going to do an unveil of the statue, this full-size bronze statue of Lemmy Kilmister that the Rainbow Bar and Grill has built a shrine for, that I've had 20 people, all of us working together, and we created this amazing bronze that looks just like him. And I can't wait to pull the cover off. And then the next day, I'm going to be having an art show down at Art on Scene at 8521 West Sunset, right here in West Hollywood, brand new gallery. And the show's entitled Lemmy Kilmister, A Tribute to the Master. And it's going to be all Sharpie work pretty much. It's going to be all pertaining to Lemmy and Motorhead and his influences, the people that influenced him musically, and LA in general. And it'll be the final wrap up, the last chance to celebrate. We're going to start at 8 o'clock with red carpet, general public at 10 o'clock. And we'll stay open as long as they'll let us. Jack Daniels is going to be sponsoring the bar, so it's an open bar. Please come have a drink, have a Lemmy with us, and come look at some awesome art. And we're going to have DJ Caden DePena spinning tracks for us. Caden was the gentleman, the mastermind from Hyrax that raised all the money. He started the You Caring campaign that the fans then contributed over $20,000 to erect the statue of Lemmy. And so he's going to come. We're going to celebrate together. We're going to have a huge celebration with people that are playing here tonight. Some of these folks, some of the folks will be the unveiling tomorrow, and it should be a blast. So please come out, come check it out. It's going to be 3 excellent days.